Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger. Blitzwinger? That was funny. Alrighty, but nonetheless, of course, welcome on back, everybody. Hope you guys are having a fan-flipping-tastic day, and if you're not, hopefully this silly, goofy little video might cheer you up in some way, shape, or form. But of course, welcome back to Blitzvillage. Now, a couple of kind of housekeeping things just to discuss real quick. So first of all, we will finish the Charizard design on the next episode. We will get that done, of course, on the next episode of Blitzvillage. So a bit of a spoiler, I guess, for the next episode. Spoiler alert! But today, of course, we're going to work on the Steve statue. We will get to some shoutouts in just a moment. But one thing that I wanted to discuss about the pixel art was that I am most likely gonna stop doing the pixel art on Blitzvillage and instead do a pixel art type Minecraft series where we will just design cool things. We will do them on the Blitzvillage server, but it won't be a part of Blitzvillage where it'll be like an episode focused on pixel art. And the reason for that is because after seeing the response and actually also talking to some of you and such, I realized that a lot of people weren't too interested in seeing Blitzvillage be pixel art heavy to this extent, and they do want to see the pixel art videos, but on Blitzvillage they want to see more kind of structure designs and kind of like builds that are not focused around pixel art, but more so like even for example the Steve statue, it's less pixel art than it is a statue. Wait. Yeah, because then it is a structure. That's the words. All right, Blitzwinger. So now that you basically spoke like a whole different language using English, where you didn't make any sense, basically what I'm saying is that we're going to get back to our roots and focus on more buildings and some cool structures. So, of course, don't forget to use the comment section below to let me know for things that you would like to see assembled on future episodes. But that being said, first of all, we got to do some shout-outs. So let's get rocking and let's get rolling. By the way, some of you guys asked me why do I always point this down like this when we're doing the shout-outs? Because I like to have a nice background for all your awesome designs. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the shout-outs of the day. Now, if you want to be featured on an upcoming episode of Blitzvillage, don't forget, go to twitter.com/Blitzwinger and send me your awesome submissions. On top of that, of course, don't forget, you could also tweet at me, which is at Blitzwinger on Twitter, and then send your awesome submissions to hopefully be featured on an upcoming episode. But today, we will kick things off with the Titan Tower, which is quite lovely indeed. Of course, the Titan Tower is from the Teen Titans, which was just a really fantastic design. Definitely, it's such a simple idea, but it's great that you actually went ahead and did it. And I should have probably named the person because I didn't do that, did I? Yeah, silly Blitzwinger. But, of course, it is Noah Moore who sent in this design, and very, very cool design again. One of those things that I definitely kind of have now thought of where I'm like, maybe we could build like, I don't know, take the Batman or the Wayne Mansion and build that. Maybe that'd be something that you guys would be interested in. I guess we would have to just wait and see. Next up after that, we've got a regular person that attends the Twitch streams, which is, of course, the one and only Nick Tendo, who sent in the Dynamic Buddies, a.k.a. Wolverine and Deadpool. I just love the way that both of them look there, because it's like, it looks like Wolverine is like annoyed at Deadpool already. He's like, oh God, why do I have to babysit this guy all the time? But very, very well done. Thank you very much for your submission. And finally, for the final submission of the day, we've got Justin McKeegan, who sent in a Spider-Man pixel art, where it's kind of his face. And then I see a skull there, which kind of reminds me of something from the Mario RPG, Mario and Luigi RPG. I could be wrong whether or not that is a character from Mario RPG. It could be just some sort of a skull just for the sake of being a skull. But let me know down in the comment section below what that is for if you know better than I. But that being said, let's kick things off today. Let me just go ahead and time set 0 so that we have a nice, beautiful, bright, sunny day to enjoy as we get to the next episode of Blitzvillage. It is assembly time, folks. So, or I guess it is assembly continuation time as we continue to build Steve out. Of course, we're using the translucent, I forgot what it was called, light blue or blue? Yeah, light blue stained glass. And it's very, very cool. A lot of you guys actually liked that idea, so I was super duper happy about that you guys did enjoy the idea of having these stained glass the way that it is. And you guys also did enjoy the idea of making kind of like the arms little shops and stuff like that. So we will definitely do that and take advantage of that. For certain. Whoa! There's an Enderman. That scared the heck out of me. I was like, what is that? Did somebody come into my game? Oh my goodness, that was scary. Okay, let's set that to peaceful. Because that was simply peacefully terrifying. Wait, how could it be peacefully terrifying? Ay, carambas. Okay, let's just not talk about Enderman no more. Let's build. Let us build. So of course, we're basically designing the shirt now, or aka the torso. So, obviously, since we're building Steve, he's got to be predominantly blue. And, okay, so this is looking pretty good. The only thing is I'm realizing it's going to have to be massive. Massively massive. I don't know the specific blocks, but it's going to have to be quite high up. In fact, I think this is probably where, as far up as we want to be going, is probably right where we are right now. And then that's where the arms will end, and we'll go into the sleeves of the shirt. So obviously we're going to kind of go into the shoulders as well, where obviously the design is going to get a little bit wider as a result of that. So that's something that we're definitely going to keep in mind as we get there. Alrighties, build, build, build. Every day all I do is build. Except not really. Whoops. There we are. Smashing glass. Isn't there something satisfying about just doing it in the game where there's no cleanup or anything like that? It's like whenever... I'm sure all of you have had that experience where you drop something or you kick something by mistake, like a plate. Well, I don't know how you would kick a plate by mistake, but still. I guess you could do that somehow. But still, let's say, like, for me, I remember a specific memory was with a cup. I remember I was looking at a cup and it was in my hands and I put it on the counter and I missed just a wee bit. And I saw it flying down, and as it's flying, and it's kind of flying towards the floor, I'm like, ugh! Like, you know, it was like a slow motion moment from movies and stuff. And I was like, no! And unfortunately, I was just not quick enough. Actually, I think we might have to actually make this a little bit shorter. I think that should be the right height for the arms there. I guess we'll just have to see. We'll make it out, and then we'll see how it looks. All right, but I think it's that moment, and then you're like, no, and then you hear that where it just blows up into the tiniest of tiniest pieces. I also remember the worst thing ever to break, in my opinion, is light bulbs. I remember I've broken, I think, 2 or 3 light bulbs in my lifetime so far, and oh my goodness, is it a pain to clean up. It's just a ginormous pain. It's just so many pieces. They never blow up like they never break. Like, you know, sometimes when you break a plate or something like that, it might break into like 4 or 5 big pieces, and then you'll have a couple of tiny slivers, which, you know, you just carefully collect with like a wet paper towel or something like that. And then obviously it's not such a big hassle to clean it up. But with the light bulbs, both times, it was just insane. They shatter into the tiniest pieces, and you're like, oh my god, how am I going to collect this? Like, I don't know, you have to either probably like vacuum them, or that's probably not a good idea though, because probably break your vacuum cleaner or something. I don't know. I remember I just used paper towels and it took me hours to clean. Okay, so right now it kind of looks freaky because it's like, what are those arms? It makes a little bit to no sense. Alright, so what I think we're going to do is we're going to extend this. We're going to make this, let's see, 3 blocks high for the shoulders, or do we want to go 4 blocks high for the shoulders? Again, I'm working off of I've got a picture of Steve, so I don't have like a template that I'm using or anything like that. I could be, but at the same time, as I've said before, to me, Minecraft is about being creative. It's about engaging in a creative manner. And look, if it's not perfect, who cares? At least you can say that it's your own, you know what I mean? And nobody can take that away from you. And that's what I try to do. And that's what I try to tell people who play Minecraft. They're like, how do I do this? I suck at it, or something like that. That's why I always tell people, like, I'm going to feature you on an episode no matter what. Like, your design could be the best I've ever seen or the worst I've ever seen. But again, if I think it's the worst, it doesn't mean that it's the worst to everybody else, because somebody else might absolutely love that design, you know? Okay, so I think we're just going to break that off so that there's no kind of a pattern issue. Yeah, I think 3 blocks high should work fairly well. So let's go ahead with this, and we'll see if it's appropriate enough once we get everything rocking and rolling. So for now, let's just build up and build out more of the shoulders here. And we're going to go ahead and tear down a little bit of this again. And I guess, yeah, I think 3 blocks high hopefully will work. Hopefully. Alrighty. So I just got to remember to do the little front there, you know, the little area up at the front of the shirt. I don't know what that's called. It's not a sleeve. It's like where your skin would be showing. So that would be, let's see, how many blocks are we working with again? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so 14. And I'm probably going to make it like 4 wide. So if we take 5 off of each side, that should be pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we take these 4 pieces, and then these 2 pieces, and then this would be kind of the skin there. Okay, it's really bizarre looking at it now because it's like we don't have the head in place or anything like that, so it's still kind of like strange looking, I have to admit, but I hope that as we put this thing together, it'll come together nicely. Okay, so why do I have all this stuff here? A golden carrot? Where did that come from? A music disc? Okay. I don't even know where that's from. Alrighty. I guess that's from just previous parts. I just can't recall actually using any of this stuff. Or like, why do I have a bow that's been used? Did we take down a skeleton? Maybe. Maybe that's what it was. Probably that's exactly what it was. And why am I wearing an armor? That is so bizarre. Seriously. That's kind of strange. Okay. Nonetheless, we're going to need something to use for his... goatee, for his kind of face and goatee and hair or whatever, facial hair, I guess. So we need kind of like a grayish color. So I think I'm going to use this gray wool right here. It kind of looks like it should be a good option. Yeah, I think that should work actually. We'll try this, and then if it does not turn out well, we can obviously always change it. Because that's words, not really. All right, so that's going to be his head right there. It's going to start there. And then we're going to have it go 2 blocks this way. Or maybe 3 blocks. I guess we'll just have to see right now. Because again, I'm trying to keep a certain scale going, obviously. So here we are. Let's see how this looks. So is that to scale? I think it is. It certainly looks like a reasonable size for his shoulders, and it's not perfect. Again, I never claimed to be perfect or claimed to be amazing at this or anything like that. Probably just average, maybe even lower than average. By the way, I just recently realized that I've on March 28th was the first time I ever played, last year, by the way, March 20th of last year, was the first time that I have ever played Minecraft of 2013. So it's kind of cool that just recently, not too long ago, I surpassed my 1-year mark as a Minecraft noob. So, yay, I've been a noob for a whole year. Here's to another. Hopefully, less newbie year, hopefully. Okay, so we're going to need something for his nose, and I kind of want to use maybe a different colored wood or something, just to let it kind of stand out a little bit, because if we just use wood, it's going to look awkward, because he's just not going to have a nose, you know what I mean? So, obviously, it's kind of an obvious thing. Hey, he's not going to have a nose. Is that okay by you? I guess so. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. We got to get something for a nose. Nose. What do we use for a nose? I have not even any clue. We could use like a different plank, but the problem is... Okay, let's try this one. Maybe the jungle wood. Actually, are we using jungle wood? We are, aren't we? Okay, maybe the oak wood then will work decently. We could try it, so let's give it a go-see, shall we? Okay, let's see. So this will be... Oh, man, nope. That's way too different of a shade. I need it to be like somewhat of a similar color, but still different enough to where... it will stand out, you know? Glowstone, I don't know. I think glowstone would be obviously weird, right? But it would be kind of funny, because it'd be like Steve the Red-Nosed, well, the glowstoned reindeer, except not reindeer, Steve the Glowstoned Man, which sounds kind of strange when you say it out loud. I don't know. I think that could be kind of funny. Let me know, what do you think for his nose? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'll listen to you guys and we'll decide via your decision making. All right, so then we need his eyes, which should be relatively easy to do, just like this, basically. Yep, that works. That looks good. Yay! Okay, I'm happy with the way this is turning out. This is looking very, very cool. So we just need to do the hair and the back of the head. Of course, we don't want to be like, hey, look, it's Steve. What happened to you, Steve? Where's the rest of your head, my friend? There's something very wrong with you. Did you notice this? He's like, yep, I've noticed. Lately, I have not been able to remember anything. All right, so now his hair is brown, so I think we're just going to use some brown wool for that. And hopefully that will work. Whoa, by the way, it just got dark on us. I didn't even realize that it did. Let's go ahead and time set again. So, yeah, this is actually a really good color choice, actually. So I think, do we go 3 or 2? Yeah, I think 3 should work, actually. 3 looks good. And you see, the problem was that, like, when I was picking the wood for the skin color, the skin tone, it's like, the reason I picked it is because, to me, it looks kind of similar to the skin color that they use for the Steve skin, typically. So that's why I went with it. But obviously it adds the whole like pattern of the planks and stuff. But when you look at it from a little bit far away, you can definitely notice that it does look somewhat like a skin color. So I think it works. It's not perfect, but it does work. Now, I'm wondering, I actually don't have him, I only have him like facing me. So I'm wondering, does his hair go, I can't quite recall if his hair just goes like all the way back like this, or does it have like a little, like, you know, maybe pattern like that where it kind of blends into the head? It could be that. And actually, I kind of like the way that looks, so why don't we do that? I think that looks kind of cool, right? I think that looks nicer. So I'm not sure the way that it is, but I think that this looks nice, so that's why we're going to go with it. And hopefully that's how it is. And I'm sure that somebody will let me know by now. Like, there's somebody, as I'm saying this right now and you're watching this, somebody's already probably typed in the comment section below, dude, it's totally not like that. It's like this, or something like that. But in a very kind of way. Alright, so we've got that. Whoops. The reason why I did that voice is because a lot of times people are, like, very mean right away, like when you make an error or something, like, how dare you, blah 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 blah, and you're like, guys, sorry, I literally did not know. I'm not trying to pretend or anything like that. I just literally did not know and was not sure. Okay, so let's see. I guess what I should have done, wait, what is going on here? Why do I not have that? Okay, never mind. Hi, silly me. There we are. Nice. Okay, kind of looks awkward from the back when you look at it. Okay, wait. What am I doing? We could go one more layer. No. It's gonna look even worse. Okay, so there we are. That is quite fantastic indeed. I love the nose, actually. It kind of looks hilarious to me. All right, that's pretty awesome. So now we need to figure out also how do we actually, like, where are we going to make the entrance or anything like that? I guess we did sculpt it in here, didn't we? So I know that some of you guys made a suggestion for like a butt slide. Which I did find to be somewhat funny, I will admit, where like we would make like a little area that you could slide down, but there's nothing like it's, first of all, it's gonna look bizarre because we could make it, I guess we could make it like into the pool. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want to see a butt slide. I just saw a couple of people make that comment and it made me really, really laugh. So I was like, that might be one of the funniest ideas I've ever heard. So just let me know down in the comment section below if you guys would like to see that. Definitely would love to hear back from you on that. So let's see. I guess we could get some ladders up here. And again, still deciding of what we're actually going to do with this area, just because several of you kind of made some suggestions, but it was like it wasn't like a unanimous thing. Like I didn't see one overarching theme. There were people who were like, oh, make it so that it's like, you know, organs or something like that. Like, you know, it'd be like a big red heart or something in the middle so you could kind of see that. And I thought that that was quite a lovely idea, so maybe we will do that. But again, just leave suggestions. I will definitely take them all into consideration. I've got a couple of ideas on my own, so I'm definitely gonna... Maybe what I'll do is in between episodes, I'll try a couple of my own ideas, which really was one of the things I did want to do, as I've said before, is basically kind of like take a heart, but obviously we wouldn't make it like a heart, so it'd be kind of more like this kind of a heart, you know, like that, let's say, and I guess that would be there. Oh, and we don't have enough room, do we? I did not realize that. Okay, so we would have to just do it like this then. So it'd be something like this, but obviously a little better centered, because that's just bad. And just in the middle like that, so it'd be just floating, but then obviously we wouldn't have the area accessible. So again, that was just one of my ideas. Another one was to do the same as we did with the creeper, to do the staircase. A staircase! It's a staircase that you climb and people scare you as you're climbing. Sounds super dangerous, to be honest. But nonetheless, there you guys have it. That is the design for today's, of course, the fantastic Steve right here. The statue of Steve is now completed. I absolutely love the way that this thing has turned out, and I'm very much looking forward to, on the next episode, completing this monstrosity, which should be quite lovely indeed. Of course, we're going to build up and finish this ginormous Charizard pixel art. I mean, look how massive this is. Like, if you're a human, if you're a villager living in this town, you're like, what is this? It's like, if you've ever watched the anime Attack on Titan, that right there is like the comparison. Like, that would be insane. That would terrify me if I was just walking and I'm like, what is that? That is massive. But that being said, there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, I will catch you folks next time. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you later, alligators. Thanks for watching, guys.